There's a hornet buzzing around here, look. European hornet. There he is. I'm going to keep my distance. They're buggers, they are. They don't like it. They're quite aggressive when they want to be. Last week and the week before I was moaning about the fact that there aren't any mushrooms around, there's hardly any fungus. But since then we've had rain, wind, sun, all the things basically that fungus likes. And it seems to have bloomed everywhere at the moment. I almost can't look anywhere now without seeing some. I mean, look down here, look down here, look. Literally, the floor is covered in them. Little tiny ones, little tiny ones. I think they're wax caps of some kind. But yeah, they're everywhere. I'll show you lots in this video. Here we have some wood ears. These weird jelly-like fungus. They're very loved in Japanese and Chinese cookery. I'm not a fan personally, but yeah, they are edible. So you go, lots and lots of wood ears there. Look at that, look, loads on this old dead log. And of course that's the joy of a lot of fungus, they actually eat the wood. They destroy all the wood and break it down. We're going to wander down through what I like to call Sycamore Alley. As I pointed out in a previous video, the sycamores have completely taken over this end. It's all sycamore down there, whereas you get to this point and they stop. And now it's back to the more traditional British trees. Oh, we've had a big branch come down here, look. This hasn't been here before. We did have hurricane force winds though the last few nights, so understandable I suppose. But yes, we've got more traditional trees down through here. It's all cherry and hawthorn and oak and blackthorn and holly, the sort of things you expect in an old English woodland. Teeny tiny fungus. More trees down here. Blimey, the winds were busy. Still, at least we've got a bit of sunshine today. That's nice. It's nice when it dapples through the woods like this. It's really, really nice. A few more teeny tinies here growing on this tree, or the roots of this tree. These are the exposed roots where this hawthorn tree fell over slightly. And I love this. I love this big chunk of flint that's been captured by the roots, look, and held here. It's just floating in midair. Isn't that fabulous? Now, just last year on this tree here, there were a couple of really lovely beefsteak fungus. No trace of them this year. Well, I timed that badly. According to the forecast, it wasn't going to be raining for another hour or so. But I find myself now hiding underneath an oak tree. Although the next oak tree over has more cover. Maybe I should make a dash for that. Ah, wherever I go, I'm going to get wet now. Hey, hey, it's autumn. What do I expect? These tiny little mushrooms have appeared on this oak tree. Look how small they are, look. I'm going to put the micro lens on and have a look at them closely. They're quite pretty, delicate little things, aren't they? Teeny tiny in amongst the moss. They're lovely. Some of them are really mentally small. Right, let's see if I can get this one here. Look at that one. Isn't that lovely? Do you know, earlier this week I was saying that there wasn't much fungus around, and it's like it heard me and responded, because now I'm seeing it everywhere. There's some more down here, just down here. Some turkey tails there in a puddle of sunshine. At least I think it's a turkey. Well, actually it might not be a turkey tail. There's not very well defined lines on it. Might just be a common bracket. And we have a little cluster of balls here. Now what do you reckon they are? Eh? There's a bunch of them along here. Well, these are puffballs. They're edible. You can always tell because you break them open and they've got this lovely white spongy flesh inside. That's fine. There is a mimic, or if you like, another puffball that looks similar, called an earth ball. It's got a bit of a more decorative surface to it, and if you break it open, it's dark blue inside. Don't eat that one, it's toxic. But this one, perfectly good. And I'm going to leave this here now for the animals to eat. There. The other thing to say about puffballs is once they get to a certain age, all of that interior tissue breaks down and the centre of it fills up with spores. It just becomes a hollow sphere full of spores. You know how they say, a hollow sphere full of spores. Yeah, that's a bit of a tongue twister. Hollow sphere full of spores. Got there in the end. Yeah, in which case a hole develops in the top, and if you squeeze them, they puff out millions of spores, and you'll have more puffballs the year afterwards. One of my favourite venerable old oak trees. A beautiful tree that is. All 4 trunks of it, with a cut down cherry just behind. That cherry had some beefsteak fungus on it a couple of years ago, but not this year. It's so weird. Earlier in this week I was saying there's no fungus about. Now I'm finding it everywhere. It's like it heard me. It's so weird. We have a bolete of some description here, and he's already been pulled out the ground. So let's have a look at him. Oh, you can tell it's a bolete because it hasn't got gills underneath. It's got holes. It's got pores. I don't know which bolete it is. It's one of them. Not edible, but an interesting looking mushroom. I'm fully aware that this is something called tar spot disease that's on this sycamore, but it somehow makes the leaves look better, I think. They're rather dull than just green. When they've got these spots on them, and sometimes you get yellow developing around the outsides of the spots, it makes them rather attractive, doesn't it? And it actually doesn't harm the tree, apparently. It doesn't harm the tree at all, and of course the leaves are going to drop soon anyway. So, yeah, tar spot disease. Here's something you might not know. These are both holly leaves from the same tree, from the same bush. But the one on the left is from further up the tree, and the one on the right is from down at floor level. You see, because something that holly does is it reacts to predation. Holly is generally like this to start with. It's fairly rounded, there's a point on the end, there may be 1 spike, maybe 2, maybe none at all. But once the deer start nibbling at the leaves, or the tree starts getting attacked, it grows spikes. It sends a chemical signal through its body saying, hey guys, grow some spikes, everything's eating us. And after a while, the whole plant gets spiky. Well, up to a certain height, because if it's not being predated from above, any new leaves that form won't have the spikes. So there you go, holly does have its own defence mechanism. Interesting, eh? The squirrels around here are really quite tame. And this one here, he's so busy chewing away on his acorn, he's not bothered by me being here at all. I mean, he will run off in a second. Yep, there he goes. We have a little window here of a couple of hours where the sun's out, the sky is blue, if a bit cloudy, before the rain comes in again. So I'm making the most of it. Those teeny tiny little white dots you can see there, that's the start of candle snuff fungus. They will grow up into like antler shapes, white with black tips, but a bit early so far. And usually, quite commonly around the base of these oak and ash trees in this little field, you get quite a bit of candle snuff fungus, and you get a few small mushrooms like this, which looks to me like it's going to turn into a milk cap. I might be wrong, but it looks like a milk cap. It'll open up and flatten out, and when you break it, it actually bleeds a little kind of milk. A little flurry of milk caps here. Oh, tiny little ones, look there. They're hiding in amongst the blades of grass. I think their actual full name is an oak milk cap, because they quite often like to gather around the outside of oaks. And sure enough, that's exactly what this tree is. More spangled galls on this oak leaf. Now that is a parasol. Look at the shape of it and the lovely colours on the top. It's lovely, isn't it? The parasol is edible, but you really want them to get a little bit bigger yet. Nice little crop of honey fungus growing on this log, and there's some more down here as well. There we go. Now then, this is a view of the wildlife pond. I don't often see because I don't normally come in from this direction. And of course, we can't get to the wildlife pond at the moment anyway because it's all fenced off. But for good reason, because they're trying to get it all ready and prepped up for the spring to try and encourage the wildlife into there. And in fact, a local garden centre, I'll give them a name check in the text below, has actually just donated 200 plants to go around the outside. You can see some of them around the edges there. They're going to establish a new reed bed. Plus there's some floating plants and some subaquatic plants, you know, pondweed and things. It's going to be lovely in the spring. I'm certainly looking forward to going there and doing a bit of tadpole dipping. I'm 63 going on 12. It may be lovely and sunny, but it's also a bit breezy. So I've got my anchoring system in place. See, it's the hat, the thong that holds my hat around my thumb, on my thumbstick. So if the wind goes, I can just yank on that and my hat stays on. Inventive, see, that's me, inventive. Look at the colour of these rose hips. You get a bit of sun on them and they pop, don't they? Look at that. They really pop, especially against the blue sky like that. Oh my goodness. I love the colour of rose hips. Absolutely love the colour of rose hips. Like the taste of them too. They weren't looking too good a month or so ago, but they plumped up beautifully, and I think there's going to be some rosehip syrup in my very near future. Oh, and there's a little tiny robin's pincushion there. See it? Yeah, a little small one. There's a big one there. There's an old tatty one there from last year with a ladybird sitting on it. But yeah, it's another kind of gall wasp, but particularly likes fruit trees, and it really likes dog roses. And the action of putting the egg into the stem causes that mass explosion of tissue, sometimes called a bizarre as well. So there you go, amazing colours. That's the end of this week's videos and this week's rambles. Been a bit of a fungal foray, hasn't it? If you like this, then please like, please subscribe, and there'll be more of the same. And there'll also be some arty videos coming up, plus a couple of other events I'm doing soon. And as always, you're welcome to join me. But in the meantime, toodle pip. And don't forget that our neo-pagan Wheel of the Year calendar is now available to pre-order. UK residents simply scan the QR code. Overseas customers email us at copa.artist@gmail.com and we'll try and work out the cheapest way of posting it to you. Thanks very much. If you've enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing. Or click on some of these links to look at some of the other videos on the channel. Or press the like button. Or leave a comment. It would be lovely to hear from you. Any combination of those four things would be wonderful. Thank you very much.